Mike Carey here, and you're listening to the So We Don't Forget podcast. And there you go.
Welcome to So We Don't Forget, the podcast where two siblings talk about stuff so we don't forget. I'm Felicia.
And I'm Jeremy, and it's been a minute, guys. I'm looking. The last time we recorded was...
Well, we had a couple in-person ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Last time we recorded on here would have been... I got to look back at the actual date now. Because it released on November 3rd, so that means we recorded October 30th was the last time that we recorded in this studio. This is episode 88.
Welcome.
Part of the reason we haven't been here actually is we're going to discuss today.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watched the last episode, you know that I had back surgery, which I guess I can show real quick. I got this bad boy on.
Got that bad boy.
So if you want to see in person, just make sure you check it out.
In person, they're going to come meet you? Meet up?
Maybe. This is not sponsored, but I went to Quick Trip and got myself a Red Bull.
Red Bull
edition, the Wild Bear. I have another. I got a Juneberry sugar-free sitting in the fridge. I will say I prefer sugar-free energy drinks.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It's delicious. They also got me, Felicia. I talked about Spreckers in the past. They had the bottles that's about this big, maybe a little bit fatter, but a little girthy.
It's fatter.
Girthy.
Girthier.
It was two for like $3.50 or $3.25. I'm like, you got me. So I got two low-calorie ones. And then I was looking up on Sprecker's website. Maybe I want to buy another 12-pack. Because I got the small ones, but I kind of like the bigger ones. Like, you know what? Bigger ones, not too bad. Because Felicia tried it. She actually agreed the low-cal is pretty tasty.
Pretty tasty.
Did you have any more? No, did you drink them all?
I don't have any. Right now, I just have Bublo.
You only have a few. The one day I was like, oh, you can take one. You're like, oh, well, I took two. I was like, what? You're like, well, yeah, triggered more than one. They're small ones, so, they're delicious.
Let me show off my nails real quick. These are done by, if you want to check her out, nails by Tanya Brown. And yes, it's the same person who does our stuff here. So
yeah,
beautiful. I'm in love with these. Nice Valentine's Day set.
They also did our artwork for To Be Frank.
Yeah, so go ahead, check her out.
And artwork for our next single. Do we want to announce when that's going to release, or you want to just dangle the carrot for now?
We could give a date. We don't have to say what it is.
That's true. We'll dangle the carrot.
Think about it.
We'll dangle until the end of the episode. We're just working on it. Speaking of which, did I close the project? I did.
I'll also say, speaking of which, it's been so long that last time we were in the studio, my hair was about 6 to 8 inches longer, and I didn't have
different color.
I have dyed it a few times since then. Right now.
Oh, yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Having some mental problems. The bottom, it's purple. I think it's faded now, so it's definitely, I think, very subtle compared to what it was, and it's not as long, so you don't see as much of it.
If you look over, continue. Sorry,
I did want to refresh it, but when you mess with your hair a lot, and then when it's wet, I don't know if Jeremy knows this, and you pull on your hair like this, if it's like gummy and like a rubber band, do not dye your hair. You're gonna mess it up.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I was saying my hair is kind of for me, it's quote unquote long. I haven't had a haircut in a minute, and I've been debating if I want to wait until like this whole like recovery, quote unquote recovery thing is over, or if I want to get it cut.
Let's see. Split it down the middle, and let's see how it looks.
Split it down the middle. Oh,
part
one of those things. Middle. I haven't done this in forever. Let me go ahead and do it. I used to do my hair. I take my headphones off so I can do this. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't really work.
You got to put your finger down the middle. Find your nose and go straight back, and then separate it. Oh, you should do the slick back look, Jeremy. Yeah.
Then my forehead looks huge.
No, it doesn't. All right, do the middle. Wait, you didn't do the middle part.
I give up. It's because of the way it's right now. Then it's like a whole thing. I will say it's funny because I was staying at my parents' house after my surgery, which we'll get into. That's a whole thing. It's probably gonna be 2 episodes because of that. And before we start, real quick, shout out to our friends over at
Mic Cover. Head on down.
Yes, I actually did just post a video on my channel, Jeremy Leach. We're going to talk about some of it today, but if you want like the full in-depth story of like the whole thing of my back surgery and all that, it's on my channel, Jeremy Leach. I talked about
so cute with
it. Does
cover.
actually looks really, especially with the mic cover. Look at that. So yeah, Big Buddy for 10% off. We'll get you some amazing stuff. ASMR. I hate ASMR. Yeah, I was gonna say. So, real quick before we shout out, I want to point to this. I won fantasy football this year. I looked at it. I guess technically I won back-to-back years because I don't know if someone else won last year, but I had it. So Everyone, give me a round of applause in the comments. I honestly, oh, there we go. Yeah, that's what I want. Which also, that's a good segue into what we're going to do this summer. You probably got it off.
What the fuck?
Disney World.
Oops, sorry. Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I will say, if you're watching the video version and you think I look tired, I think I slept like 4 hours last night, interrupted. So.
I will say, last night I actually got some sleep, but I felt like I was making up for it because the night before I slept zero, not one bit.
The only funny thing about that is, it's not funny. The funny thing about that, when you said you had zero sleep, it reminded me, there was a time in my life, I don't know the year, I know I was living in Franklin.
Hey, it's Franklin.
I was having really rough time sleeping, and like there are some nights like I didn't sleep at all and I have to go to work. For some reason, like I would always like start my car, warm it up, and there was always this radio commercial for ZzzQuil, and they'd be like, it's an alarm going off. Your alarm's going off and you got zero sleep. And it was a thing for ZzzQuil. Never took ZzzQuil, but
actually it's funny because I took ZzzQuil last night because I had some. It's a specific one. It's melatonin, but also has something with an A, ashwagandha. I say.
I heard that sounds really good.
It's supposed to help with stress, and I've been stressing myself because I can't sleep, so I took it. It's only, I think, 5. Actually, I think it's less than 5. But I took it.
I've been taking 10 of Melly, and
that's what I was taking. But and then I dropped to 5.
Can't stay asleep.
Well, I tried that last night instead of the 5 I've been taking. I felt it worked a little better, but then it's not 10, so it's like, I don't know.
What about the magnesium?
I took that as well. I've been taking that.
I'm looking for a spray. If anyone out there has a locally owned business and you sell magnesium spray, I want to spray it on my feet before bed. Please contact me.
I used to take ZzzQuil back in the day or when I work rotating shifts because sometimes I just could not sleep. So sometimes it worked. Yeah, here's one. I'm not gonna buy it on eBay.
I want the magnesium spray. I want one. I don't want one made by a big company. I want like someone who makes like essential oils. I mean, I could go look on Etsy or something.
Oh, that's why. Apparently, this is only 2 milligrams. That's probably why it didn't work as well. I've been taking 5 before that, and then 10. But it says that let's see, ashwagandha. This one says triple threat. Actually, this is what I got: supports sleep, calm mood, and antioxidant action. This is 6 milligrams. Actually, I don't know if this is the one I have or not. I need to look at one I have because some says 2. This one says 6. I might buy this one for 6 instead. I felt that one worked better than just the regular melatonin because it has extra stress stuff. Because as people know, maybe not, Felicia and I've talked about it. When you can't sleep, it's worse because then you start pissing yourself off and getting more stressed out because you can't sleep.
You look at the clock. You're like, really?
That was me all night. Finally, I said, screw it. And I I've been watching Band of Brothers, and I put that on.
Band of Brothers.
I watched 2 episodes, and I couldn't sleep. Eventually, I was like, I'm just going to get up. But I will say, I was working with, I need to see what this, this is 1 milligram. That ain't nothing. I was working on the song, sorry, the song I sent yesterday.
The song, it's really emotional.
The song I sent yesterday, and I remember it was close to 2 p.m., and I would go to my parents' house on Wednesdays, and I remember all of a sudden...
Company, check out our code.
For 15% off. Nice. I remember all of a sudden thinking, like, I just got really tired. I'm like, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to go lay down. And then I had passed out for, like, just over 2 hours. I was like, oh, that was a nice nap. Time to go to Mom and Dad's. And then they had... Excuse me. What did we have for dinner yesterday? I hear your nails. I had...
Tanya knows it's a thing.
I just had it. It was there. Hamburger Helper. They had 3 cheese something, which was my favorite. I found out now. And then also... some lasagna one, but I found out the 3 cheese is like the bomb. What?
I'm like, my computer's messed up. It says Friday, January 9th, 1:06 p.m.
When's the last time you updated your computer, Felicia?
I don't know.
Because I just had another update. I just did it the other day. That's probably part of your problem over there.
Oh no.
Oh no, Felicia. Oh no. Anyways, so I guess we'll just finally get into the reason we haven't been here, because I just realized it's been so long.
Yeah.
It's been so long. Felicia actually went to Florida and back. So look at that.
Oh, I did.
I'm so jealous. Wish we could do that. So
I need to go back.
Where do you want to start, I guess? So last time, first of all, let me see. Oh yeah, last time we talked was right before my surgery, so we did talk about my back problems beforehand. I will say, as far as post-surgery, all of the pain in my left leg has been completely gone since day 1. Actually, not day 1 because I was sore. So everyone clap for that. I guess I could show a picture of my scar that John took. Let's see. I'll get some pictures up for you guys. So my surgery was December 9th. I guess I could just tell the story of... Might as well just tell the story of the surgery.
Go on ahead.
So,
buckle up, everybody.
we went in and real quick, here's a picture of, I didn't show this last time. This is Felicia holding Liam, Jonathan on the phone with Thaddeus telling Doug what to do on Thanksgiving, and me holding...
Are you going to blur it out?
Oh, I forgot about that part. Oh, again, maybe I'm not going to show it then. I can put my finger over him. How about that? There we go.
There you go.
They haven't released his face, so I don't want to mess anything up with that.
To be released.
To be released, to be determined. Anyways, so I got to look for it. I lost it. I just had it. But then I saw that and I got sidetracked. Sorry. Anyways, so I had my surgery December 9th. I already said that. Sorry. And my parents took me. I remember we got there. I remember on the way there, I lost in thoughts that whatever, because I'm like...
Lost in thoughts of what you'll never be.
That's right. Because I'm just like, I'm actually having surgery today. This is crazy. And then the road, I guess, was like it snowed then or something the night before my parents were talking about, and I was like, what? I'm just thinking, I have no idea what's going on. So here's the waiting room we got there. I remember Dad had to change his parking because he didn't park very well. This is me before I took my surgery. If you see, I'm wearing my Better Days shirt.
And I'm sure Jeremy has linked down below his video about his surgery.
I do, actually. Here's me when I just got changed. If you look
buy
at
that
me,
outfit.
Look at me being nervous. I'm like, oh no. This is me. This is me before my parents came in the room. Great times. This is me after I got my, there's my shoes on the ground. I told my dad, I'm like, you can move them. He's like, oh, they're fine. After I got my IV. Funny thing about this IV is that's on my blanket. That's blood. So what had happened was the nurse, which I forget his name, I'm sorry, but he was pretty awesome. And he was taking the IV. He's like, oh, we need to, he was giving me something in the IV. Or no, first when he first gave me the IV, he's putting it in. And he was talking about something. I was like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of needles or blood. And he was like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of needles either, which is funny because I'm a nurse or something like that. And then all of a sudden I was like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of blood. He's like, yeah, don't look over here then. I could feel wetness all down my arm. I looked at my mom. She said there was blood everywhere. It was squirting out like crazy. Because what he told me, you got good veins, which I've heard from every person who's ever taken my blood is like, oh, you got good veins.
Until you get dehydrated.
Yeah, then they're not good. But the veins was good. And then he had to come back again and take blood so they could see my blood type, which I still don't know what it is. I got to talk to my doctor. And then, me and my parents are just like talking, whatever. And then they're talking to me and I'm getting some text, try not to think about it too much. And then right before they took me, the lady was like, all right, time to take you. And my dad's like, hold on. My dad took this picture. Look how happy I am.
There he is.
Look at me.
Jeremy.
I'm freaking out. So then I remember they wheeled me in and they were supposed to change me to grippy socks. And they did not. And that was my last thought before I went to sleep. I remember they wheeled me in to the OR, which we were talking, me and the nurse were talking about cookies. I forget how we got in the subject. I was like, yeah, my mom's going to...
cookies?
Peanut butter. Because I was like, my mom's going to make me cookies. I forget how we got on the subject of cookies. I was like, yeah, my mom's going to make me some. Homemade. The lady was like, oh, homemade or whatever. I'm like, yeah, she can make some homemade from scratch. I'm like, they're delicious. They're my favorite. And then she's like, okay, it's going to get cold. And then I felt the shift as soon as we go through the doors. I'm like, man, it is cold in here. And then I leaned forward. They undid the back of my gown. They're like, okay, we're going to help you out. And then they all the thing was like 3 or 4 ladies. They started hooking stuff up to my arm, did something to the left side and whatever. Because they put me to sleep and then they turned me over on my stomach. And then the lady was like, okay, you're going to feel warm or whatever. And then I remember I believe it was, 3 breaths.
During this time, is your butt out?
No, because I had pants on.
Oh.
They gave me pants, thankfully. But I was thinking about, or no, I didn't. My butt was out. That's right. I didn't have pants on. I remember that was scary because when I went to the bathroom, Mom and Dad were in there. I had to get up off the bed and I went sideways so I wouldn't actually
Nobody look at my butt.
Nobody look at my booty. And my last thought was, they never changed my socks to the grippy socks. I had my regular socks on. And then next thing I know, I awoke and I'm looking around confused. And the lady was like, oh, you're awake or something like that. I was like,
I would like to say he took forever because we were waiting for the updates. I'm at work. And Dad was like, oh, yep, Jeremy's done. He's in recovery, waiting for him to wake up. It was over an hour, an hour and a half. I'm like, I was with my coworker. I'm like, can he wake up? Jesus, Jeremy, get up.
The funny part about recovery is this is literally all I remember. I woke up and the lady's like, oh, you're in recovery. I said something. She responded. I don't remember what I said back. I just remember saying, oh, I'm sorry. And she said, oh, you're fine. Next thing I know, I'm in my room. Just like that. That's what it was. I closed my eyes, open them up. I'm looking around. I see my parents. I was confused. I'm like, am I back in the room? They're like, yeah, you're back in the room. So, was I in recovery? I said, yeah. I said, okay. And then I closed my eyes, opened them again. I looked at the clock. It was 20 minutes later. I'm like, did I fall asleep again? They're like, yeah, you've been in and out of sleep. I was like, oh, my bad. Remember, the nurse came in. They're like, oh, He's like, how you doing? Whatever. He's like, you want to try and get up? He's like, not to rush you, like whatever speed. I'm like, no, I'm good. But I bring this up because it's funny because right before I went in for my surgery, my surgeon came in, you say, oh, this we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. And my dad was like, I had the same, no, I said, my dad had the same surgery 9 years ago. My dad's like, yeah, this is what they took out of me. So I guess the surgeon knew that ahead of time. So he said, okay, here's what Jeremy had inside of him.
Wow.
So Tatiana did the nice thing for us and put a side-by-side for everyone.
Who took the picture in the
actual one?
OR?
That was the doctor. So the doctor took the picture and the dad took a picture of a picture.
Oh, okay.
And then here's the picture of me afterwards. This is right after I woke up. And then I asked for my phone and I started texting people back. And then my mom, I guess I was sounding a little loopy. I remember everything. I just remember talking like a lot for whatever reason. Like I could not stop talking. And my mom was like, you should be careful what you're texting the people over there. It was nothing crazy, but I just wasn't making sense. Felicia was talking to my pastor and she said, he was like, hey, he's not making sense. I love it.
Yeah, because he had told me earlier, he was like, hey, he's like, can you just keep me updated about Jeremy?
He texted me before.
Yeah,
I told him, let her rip.
And then I'm like, yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. He's like, yep, same.
I sent a picture of that and said, I looked back, I was like, oh, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because after Jeremy sent in that picture, he was like, what did Jeremy just send me a picture of?
Oh, yeah, I didn't explain it very well. And then after that, then I remember the nurse came in and then I decided, yep, I want to get up. So my parents walked out. And then I remember being in the gown and then him helping me taking the gown off. So I'm sitting there naked on the bed and he had my clothes. Do you want my help? I'm like, I've told him out loud because remember I said word for what you told him before. At this point, I don't care. He's like, okay. Because I remember Felicia telling me that. I'm like, I'm going to be naked. She's like, you're not going to care. I remember I did not care. So I said it out loud. Yeah. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, you can help me. I'm like, you've seen it all. He just laughed. He said, yep. So he helped me put my clothes on. He's like, do you want me to get your parents? Like, hey, you can bring them back in. He opens the door. He looks around, turns back around. Well, turns out your parents left. They probably went to the waiting room for you because I was like, okay. He's like, so I'll wheel you out. I was like, all right. So he's wheeling me out. And then I remember I see my parents. I was like, you left. They're like, oh, well, Dad decided to go get the van. I was like, oh, okay. So they wheeled me out. And then after I made a joke before, I was like, I'm going to want Leon's afterwards. So my parents took me to Leon's frozen custard. And it was funny because Brandon asked me later in the day, what's going to be your first meal? I'm like, I already had it right after I left the hospital. I went to Leon's.
Custard. How'd you get in the big van?
They had a step. They helped me in. I'm trying to think. Like, I remember getting in the van, but it's like hazy, if that makes any sense. So what was your experience during all that? So you knew that
I'm
I woke
at work.
up. Yeah, you're at work. Yeah, Felicia, she tried to get off, but she wasn't able to.
No.
Which Alexander had the same
else.
thing. Doug did too.
There was something else we were off for before that. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. I know he took off that Friday too, for the trip. I think that's what it was. Oh no, that was the couple weeks after. No, you originally took that Friday off. I keep hitting my knees, and it keeps doing that thing like when the doctors hit it to like get your reaction, and that just keep moving. It's freaking me out. But
yeah,
anyway.
I know what you're talking about now, but we didn't get to go.
Yeah, which that goes into.
Anyways,
anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I was just texting, and then I kept like looking at my watch, and I'm like, any updates?
For me, it was a matter of like seconds. Like
God, it was like
this.
all morning.
It was like OR, recovering, back at mom and dad, like that. For me, it was like probably 15, 20 seconds, if that.
Yeah, then when they got him home, they sent us the video of Jeremy walking.
Yeah, I'll find that too.
Van.
I'll have to blur some of the words out. Some of the jokes we were making.
I couldn't even hear what you guys were saying.
I put it in my video that I talked about. It's funny because they're going to walk away, and then I said something like, oh, can you give me a hand? I'm like, I can walk. I remember being very sore. I made a joke. I was like, yeah, I really feel it on my ass right now. Because I did, for whatever reason. And this me saying hello. And then I said, John's going to clip that. So that's me walking. And then I remember them saying, damn, your face is like really messed up.
I'm like, why do you look like that?
This was my IV thing afterwards. I know we're kind of skipping.
I don't know if you sent that or Dad. Someone put it in the chat, and then I showed my coworker. I was like, look at my brother.
First it was like this. And then Felicia's like, first,
what? I showed her that picture, and I said, my brother just sent this. What is this supposed to be?
I meant to send it. It turned, because the live picture, when you go too fast, that's what happened.
Yeah, he told me, he said the picture changed. I'm like, the pictures don't change after you
And then my face, my dad decided to, he was like at the table and took these. I said, Dad, that looks like a mugshot. Look at my face. They're laughing at me.
Jeremy looked like he had a rough day.
I did. Here's me taking a selfie like that. But anyway, so you're at work, kind of jumping around. And you're like, what is going on with this guy?
Yeah, I kept trying to like look at my phone, look at my watch, see what's going on. Then they sent the picture. You sent the bloody picture, and I'm like, what is happening? Then there's a picture of Jeremy's face like bashed up, and I'm like, what happened to him? No, it's probably from surgery. I'm like,
yeah.
what?
I'll be honest, like I knew what I was talking about at the same time I was kind of loopy. Let's see next. So that happened. I won't show this picture because it's here we go. No, because we can see the one that they took. You can see my crack from. This is the patch I had on it.
That's his patch.
It's my patch. Then the next day, shout out to Brandon. I had a thing show up and it was Duck Donuts.
Yeah, that was so sweet of you, Brandon.
Hand delivered. Yeah, thank you, Brandon. I think about that sometimes like that. I remember I almost wanted to cry when I got those because also Kevin called me the day of. I remember texting Felicia. I was like, Kevin just called me. That's Felicia. I was very emotional around that time, but I got the Duck Donuts. I wanted to cry. And then this was Winnie. She was upset because I wasn't giving her any donuts.
She said, well, there's a lot there. I can't have one. Why are you sitting on a pillow?
She was sitting on a pillow, so I took a picture, but then this is her looking. She's like, but the donuts are right there.
Right there. I want a donut.
It's right there. Yeah, so that
Winifred.
And then this was Remy sitting on me. She's like, you doing okay, bud? Just coming to check on you.
Remy loves to cuddle.
She does. And then this is a picture I got from, so I guess we'll just get into the next thing. So surgery, so you said you're just waiting, and then basically you're just waiting, and then all of a sudden you found out, hey, Jeremy's alive. Anything else? Anything else special that happened that day? Did you came see me Tuesday? No, you didn't come Tuesday because you said you're feeling the sniffles, so you didn't come.
When did I come then?
You came Thursday, which we're going to get into. So then Wednesday I was fine. I remember just being sore. And then Thursday, Felicia came to babysit me because they decided to go to see Jonas Brothers. I will say it was planned ahead of time before I had my surgery date.
Jeremy said, don't come. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'll be here by myself. I'll be fine.
I'll tell you what I told Britt the other day. Yep. I said, I just had a feeling. Go watch Jeremy.
And then I'll just show you. So the easiest way to say what happens next is this is a picture that someone sent of what happened that night.
Yeah, that was Jeremy. Not
that was Alexander that sent the picture. So I will just say, Tuesday I was sore because Tuesday was my surgery. Wednesday I was sore, and I remember feeling my stomach start to fill up. I'm like, I can't go, but I'm taking the stuff. Like Tatiana, I would say shout out to Tatiana. She was an MVP during all this. She was waking up at like 2 or 3 in the morning to give me my meds on point. And there was a few times where she missed it, and she's like, I feel so bad. I missed it. I'm like, I'm not in pain. It's fine. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, because there was one time, I remember I woke up because I just asked her, what are you giving me? She's like, oh, I'm giving you this and this. There's one time she's like, I missed your dose. I'm so sorry. I'm like, how late is it? It's like an hour late. I'm like, it's fine, Tatiana. Are you in pain? I'm like, I'm fine. Okay. Boo told me what she did was because Boo slept in her, because they have separate rooms, but I guess there's a couple nights Boo slept with her for the dogs or whatever. Tatiana said she had to put her phone with an alarm under her pillow so it would shake her awake. Otherwise, she would not awake.
Wake up, Tanya.
And then she said the one night, Tatiana looked at Boo, said, was that an earthquake? And then Boo said something, earthquake, and Tatiana said, what about an earthquake? She's thinking, you just told me earthquake.
The typical Tanya.
I will say it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, so that's what happened.
And
so,
I will say, when I came over to watch Jeremy.
Babysit,
whatever. I was like, we're going to make cookies. We're going to watch some movie.
We had this whole plan.
Yeah. Watch a Christmas movie. We're going to eat snacks.
You didn't do any of it. We just...
I made the cookies.
You did. I remember I had 1 or 2, and I was like, "Oh, these are good." And then I was like, "Oh, my tummy." So I'll just say, how can I say this without saying this? I guess I could say, I'll just say
things stopped moving.
Yeah, they did, big time. So Wednesday, I'll just say I couldn't go to the bathroom. Thursday, I remember like I felt like I need to go, and it was not coming out. So I was like trying to like take some more Miralax to see if it would help because Tatiana, I was taking it twice a day. And I remember even my doctor saying before, make sure you take it a few days before. And I forgot. And then afterwards, like, maybe I'll be okay. I was not okay. So Felicia got there and then they like updated her what's going on. Like, hey, he hasn't gone yet.
He's on poopy watch.
Just letting you know. So then I remember I would go to the bathroom and come out. Any luck? She was sitting on the couch with the dogs. The dogs were in heaven. They're like, yeah, Felicia's here. This is great. They're like fighting over and stuff.
We're laying down.
They were happy. Didn't one of them get mad because they weren't getting attention to something? I don't remember.
Winnie got mad that they left her.
That's what it was. Winnie was upset, so then she refused to give you any cuddles. So Remy was like, I'll have all the cuddles, and then Felicia, I don't care. So I remember another point, I was in there, and I couldn't go, and you came out, and we discussed some more alternatives to get me to go. And Felicia's like, I'm going to go to the store. I was like, okay. I'm like, or I said something like, you can go home. She's like, I'm not going home. I was like, okay. I'm like, I'll be fine. I'll wait till they get home. She's like, no. She's like, I'm going to leave. I remember laying on the couch and it started to get worse in my stomach. And I was just like, okay. And then...
Well, I do want to say the Walgreens I was going to go to was like 10 minutes away.
That's just, she said, I'll be back in 10 minutes. Because I remember when you left, I started to get worried because I'm like, I could feel it starting to get worse. I'm like, this is not good. And she's like, okay, I'm going to go. I was like, okay. So then she left. And then I remember, I think it was like twice. And then at one point, I remember I heard the dogs barking. So I knew you were back. And I remember, because I remember before, I was like, oh, I'll let you in, no problem. I remember texting you.
The front door.
I'm in the bathroom. And you're like, okay. And you're like, any luck? I'm like, no, she said she walked in. And what did you hear, Felicia?
I opened the back door and I heard, help me, help.
It was bad. I'll just say that nothing was coming out and that caused another problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you can figure out what that is. That's part of the reason I couldn't go. That made it extra worse. Yeah. So the things that you got me, I ended up not even using because by the time you got back, because it was already kind of late, it was too late. And I remember laying on the couch and you said, okay, we're going to the ER. I said, no, we're not. And I remember I was fighting with you for over an hour.
A long time.
It was. And then I remember I sat up and you got me up and then I had to lay back down because it was so bad. And then I remember my family showed up and then that's when things took a turn. So, what day was that? No, that was the day before. No, it was the 12th. I got to find the picture. So I remember laying on the couch and being like, this sucks. And then all of a sudden I had a panic attack, which was not fun at all.
They're not fun.
No, I'm looking for the picture so I can show you guys. Where is it?
I wish someone would have taken video.
Yeah, but everyone was just kind of... So this is the picture of me laying on the couch, Felicia pretty much pleading with me as I'm having my panic. Well, I'll say Felicia's very comforting, but this is everyone staring at me. They literally just got home from the concert, and that's what they see. But you were telling them, I remember, no, because I think you called them or they called you. Which one was it?
Yeah, and I was like, Jeremy won't go to the ER. Jeremy?
Oh, that's right. You called them. Jeremy, you need to go. The entire time pleading with me to go, and I'm like, no. And then finally they're like, you need to go.
What was your plan, though? You're like, I'll just lay here.
I don't know, but then I got scared because then I started thinking about Matthew Perry, how his stomach exploded, so I started freaking out. So then Felicia went in to the ER.
Well, first, before we got there, I gave him
we got to talk about this
bag.
Part. Well, yeah, so I'm on the couch. I went to sit up. I'm like, just let me lay down. Felicia's like, Jeremy, you already did that a few times. We're not doing it anymore. Stand up. Some of you guys, I said, okay, lift me up. And then they're like, open the door, go. It was like a tag team effort.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, they're like, get him out of here before he decides it's worse. Because my stomach was getting worse. At this point, I'd say my stomach was about an 8 or a 9 out of 10. It was horrible. So then I remember I got almost to the car. I could feel like the throw up going to happen. And I'm like, I just need to stop. Felicia's like, you're almost at the car. It's like 3 more steps. Just go. But it actually was like, I think probably 7 or 8. But I remember being at, the sidewalk where it gets to the thing. Felicia's door was already open in the back seat. I was like, no. Felicia's like, just go. So as soon as I got in the car, I laid down. I said, I'm going to throw up. Felicia's like, there's a bag on the floor. I remember just going.
I gave him a gallon Ziploc bag because my thinking was we could zip it back up.
And that's exactly what happened. So I puked in it, which they threw it away. And then the ER actually added later on, said, do you still have the bag? We'd like to look at it. They're like, oh, we threw it away. They're like, oh. Later I found out it was poopies.
Tatiana looked at it and looked at me. And I looked at it and looked at her. And she says, is that poop? But I said,
I heard her whisper that. And then I remember, I don't know why, but I was just like, because I was laying in the back. Tatiana went in the car. I just held my hand. I said, Tatiana, will you hold my hand? She was very comforting in that moment. I remember thinking, I was like, I threw up in your car. Felicia's like, it's fine. It's in a bag. I'm like, but I threw up in your car. It's going to smell like puke.
It didn't smell like puke, I'll say. For other people who don't know, puke is really hard for me to deal with.
Me too.
But in that moment, I did. And it didn't smell like puke. It smelled
I will
like
say, in that time, like in that whole thing, like after my panic attack, like once everyone got to like ER mode, my entire family was like very supportive with it. Like there was no one like saying like eat whatever. Like they were like, hey, everyone's like, here's an objective. We need to get Jeremy to the ER. This is me sitting down.
Yeah, it was like our Call of Duty mission.
It was the GTA or Call of Duty mission. You got Lester on the phone. We need to get him there right now. This is me in the chair in the thing.
Yeah, he's not having a great time.
This was already like a 10 out of 10 at this point. And then
during that point when I seen Jeremy in there, I was thinking like, wonder if I should text Britt this update.
Right? This was me 15 out of 10 with pain. Like, it was horrible. Like, okay, we're going to give you morphine. They gave me morphine. I felt it go in my bloodstream. It did not do a single thing.
Which is wild.
But the funny thing was they knew I had back surgery. They got confused. They thought they're like, oh, is he having back pain? I said, no, it's a stomach issue. I remember the nurse's face changed. She's like, oh, it's a stomach issue? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh. and you just had surgeries a few days ago? I'm like, yeah. They're like, huh, okay, or something like that. I remember like hearing it, but also I remember being in so much pain. You know, like when you're so much pain, you can't really like understand what's going
Yeah,
on.
they
If that
kept
makes
asking
sense.
Jeremy questions, and Jeremy would just look at me and be like,
Because I couldn't speak. I thought I was gonna throw up again. I just remember just pointing at them, like just telling them the answers. Because anybody who's ever been in a situation where you're in so much pain, like you can't really like focus on doing anything with being in pain, it's one of the worst feelings in the world. Plus, you feel helpless. They gave me a couple things of whatever. I remember it was a few hours later, and they're like, okay, I guess I'll just say it. They gave me an enema twice. They're like, we're just gonna give you an enema. Because
well, I would say he was blocked up to the top.
Yeah. First of all, they had me do an MRI, which doing that was horrible because I had to get in a, what do you call that? I already forgot the name.
Wheelchair?
I just said wheelchair. But I remember they had a fancy one. I was like, ooh, this is nice. They got me the fancy one. They did the one where they had to do the, not an MRI. What did I have? CAT scan. Because they put the stuff in your bloodstream. The lady was asking, but she was nice though. She's like, are you going to be able to get on the bed? I'm like, yeah. Like she helped. She's like, I don't want to go too bad. She's like, you just had surgery. I'm like, yep. So they got out of there and like did whatever. And then I remember, which I've noticed lately, especially when I edit my video, I say I remember a lot. So I apologize for that.
I remember.
But
Pepperidge Farm remember.
Yeah, Pepperidge Farm. I remember used to make that joke all the time. Felicia would be like, what? But now she's been saying it, which is funny. So anyways, I do the CAT scan and I'm laying there. And then like she's like, oh, you doing okay? I'm like, yeah. And then she came in. She's like, okay, you're all good. We'll go back. And then, like I said, we didn't know at the time, but we found out later on. Don't even remember them telling me this, but did they tell us when we were there? Because I don't remember them saying
They said it in the room.
I don't remember hearing them say it at all until you told me afterwards. Like it was in your intestines. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, that
It
would
was all the
explain.
way to the top.
Which is not good. I'd like to see those. I should look on my chart and see if I can see it because I'd like
That'll
to
be
see
wild.
it.
Look at it
I'm gonna
right
look.
now.
I will actually because I want to see. So anyway, they did that and like, okay, we're gonna do the thing, which I felt so bad for the nurse. I forget her name. I'm sorry, but I told Felicia afterwards. I'm like, I feel bad because she's like, that's her job. I'm like, still. So they decided
Yeah,
the
but they
first one.
deal with it a lot.
I know, but anyways, let's see if test results. I'm just gonna look real quick while I'm telling the story because I want to see if I see it. Because if I see it, that'd be crazy.
I'll say when there's something
December
like that
9th.
happens to you, though, I feel like it's a very humbling experience because you just feel helpless and just
Mhm.
you're like, okay, take care.
So
of
they
me.
don't
Here's
actually.
my butt.
Oh wait, let's see linked information. Ooh, does it show it? There's an image.
Can you see your butt?
It didn't load. Oh, it's loading. I actually have never even looked at these. It's been a month.
This is
I'm
a live
excited.
reaction video.
Ooh, 835 images. Holy!
What? I thought you were gonna say likes at first. I'm like, you got likes?
It's loading. It's probably gonna take a while.
Why so many?
I think because like for the video, they just used images instead. That's gonna take a while. We'll pause on that. So anyway, they go do it the first time. The lady she kept calling a commode. She's like, go in the commode, and she told me, she's like, I'm gonna put this in, and she's like, you're gonna sit there as long as you can hold it. And I forget what she said. She's like, wait for me to get out of the way or something like that. Pretty much saying, don't on me. And I remember she put the thing in, and then right away I'm like, I gotta go. And she's like, hold on. It's like, I will say she's nice about it because she made sure she got out of the room first, and then she's like, go ahead. And I went a few times, and then I remember standing up and then trying to go sit back down. I'm like, I gotta go again. And then she was calling her thing like, everything okay? And I'm like, yep, we're doing good. Still going. I was like, okay. You told me, I think it was her mom, was like, yeah, we kept asking, like, what's going on? Like, he's still going.
Because
He's
she
still
said
going.
he'll go and then I'll come get you guys. And it
Yep.
was like over an hour, maybe an
Because it
hour
was
and a half.
twice. Because we did it once, we got a little bit out, and then she came in. I think I was laying down when she came in, and she's like, you want to try it again? I was like, sure. And then we did it the second time. Remember, she put it in, and that's when she's like, hold it in, like do not let go when I'm so behind you or something like that. I can tell that just the way she said it, like it's happened. So like it happens. I held on as long as I could, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go. She's like, okay, hold on, let me get out of the room. And I went, and it was like continuous, like go, stop. I remember at one point it was like hard, but I'm like, I need to get this out. And then I will say it stunk in there.
Oh, I'm sure it smelled horrible.
I felt so bad. But a lot came out, and that second time it was when I would sit down, go lay down, sit down. This is TMI for you guys. You can just skip past this part. Sit down, go lay down, sit down. That one I think was the longest one because I laid in the bed and I'm pretty sure I fell asleep because I felt so bad. And then she kept calling, and then I think what happened was I didn't answer her, so she came in and then she saw me laying on the bed. I'm like 90% sure that's what happened because I felt
Did you
like
have pants on?
No, I just had the gown. She took the pants off. Well, gown and my shirt.
You had a gown on?
She gave me a gown to cover up. And She's like, do you want to try it again? I said, at this point, I said, I don't think anything more is going to come out. I said, I've tried and I don't want to rush it. She's like, okay. So, like I cleaned up whatever. No, I was cleaned up. And then I don't know if I put my pants on. No, I didn't put my pants on. Then they let me lay down for a little bit longer. She's like, oh, we'll wait in case you go again. And then she left. They gave me more meds. I don't know how long it was after that. It was a long time. I don't remember where my phone was at this point, honestly.
I think one of Tanya had it.
I think Tanya. Yeah, I think it was in the car. So I had my watch, and I barely even looked at it. Okay, here's an image. What the hell is this?
Oh God.
What is this? I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna show it. I don't know what that is.
Oh, that looks like if you're laying down and they cut you in half.
I don't know if you can tell on that. I remember being in pain for all this. Oh, they only have a few images on here, though. Huh. They're not loading up correctly.
Keep hearing barking. I'm like, is that Stella? Can't be Stella. She's in the crate.
Stella!
Sounds distant.
I need to save these images so I can... I'm going to screenshot these so I can save them.
Make it your profile pic.
No, I'm not going to be one of those people.
Why?
Because that's a weird thing. Oh, this is a video. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, you see my oh, that's creepy. You see my spine. Oh,
I want to see.
Oh, this is creeping me out.
All right, can I see?
That's creepy.
What the heck?
I need to save these. Anyways, so that happened, and I was laying in the bed, and I remember I was sitting on my side. I keep saying I remember, sorry. Laying on my side. And I'm sitting there, and I just remember being in so much pain. There was a little bit of relief, but at the same time, I was still in pain.
Meanwhile, we're watching the morning news in the waiting room.
We got there like just after midnight. The time we rolled out was like almost 6 a.m.
It was after 6 a.m., I think.
By the time we got home.
Yeah, back to Mom and Dad's after 7.
Yeah, because it was like around 6 when we got to Walgreens.
Yeah,
so I was laying there.
I think I called work at 6.
I was sitting there. Yeah, you already called work when I got out there. I think. No, you called work when we went inside Walgreens. That's what it was. So I'm laying there, and I'm just thinking, like, when do I get to finally go home? But I think they were just, like, making sure everything was okay. And I'm like, where's the nurse? Where's my family? And then she finally said, okay, we're going to release you, but you need to get this stuff. Make sure, like, you take more Miralax. I'm like, I have it. They're like, oh, well, get this one. They told me some other stuff to get to, like, really soften it up. That's what they kept saying, soften it up. Again, I did not know at this point that it was that far up. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. So the lady's like, I'm going to go to wheelchair, I'm going to release you, whatever. So the other like doctor came and talked to me about the stuff, Walgreens. Because when I first got there, like, where do you want to get your stuff? I'm like, normally I get it here. They're like, well, we're closed, so you need somewhere else. Like,
go now.
Yeah. She told me, I don't remember if it was when you guys were there or afterwards, but I know she told me, as soon as you leave, you need to go there. I was like, okay. So I remember her opening the door with the, why can't I think? Wheelchair, and seeing you. I think it was Mom and Boo. Was Mom there or not? I remember you.
Mom was in there wearing her winter coat and her gloves.
Yeah, they were making fun of her. I mean, when I came out at the end, was Mom with you guys or not? I remember you and Boo.
Oh, Mom went to sit in the car because she was too cold.
That's what it was. Because it was a long time.
God, I keep hearing barking.
So we went to leave. I realized what happened?
I hit my elbow.
Oh. I realized that I'm talking a lot this episode instead of Felicia, but I'm telling my story. So once I'm done...
listening to a dog here bark outside.
That's okay. Once I'm done, I want to hear Felicia's point of view of when I was in the ER and the whole time. Because I will say, once they started, like, okay, we're going to do this, Felicia and Mom were like, peace out. Which I did.
Well, they told us, like, you guys can step out now.
Yeah. Felicia's like, I don't want to be here for that anyway. They even like moved the curtain in front of the door, which was nice when I was going through all that.
It sounds like Stella, but I know I put her in the crate.
She's probably still barking.
No,
then what
like
happened?
An outside bark.
Oh, so then what happened? Oh, so they wheeled me out, and I seen you guys, and we got in the car, and I'm like, you guys are still here? They're like, yeah. I'm like, you didn't leave? I'm like, Felicia, you got to work in the morning. She's like, I'm gonna call. It's whatever. I'm like, what about you, Alexandria? I'm already got it taken care of. I'm just gonna say I need to come in later or whatever. I was like, you sure? They're like, yeah. So we went to Walgreens. Someone had my... Oh, no, that's right. Because Jonathan in his car, they had my fanny pack. Because I just threw all my stuff... That's right. They put in a fanny pack. So they had to meet us at the Walgreens, and they're going to go home. And I remember I had to sit there. I was like, I have to wait. Because I might need my ID, I thought. But I went to... So then me and Boo went in. Felicia's like, I'm going to go ahead and call work. I was like, okay. And then we went in, and I told the lady my name, whatever. She's like, oh, this is over-the-counter stuff. I was like, oh. She's like, yeah. She's like, if you go off this here, like, get this and this. I was like, all right. So we got it. I remember I bought a juice, which I took like 2 drinks of just because I wanted my mouth.
Yeah.
I remember my mouth being super, super dry. Afterwards, it's like I should have got a water. Because I remember I wanted to drink, but they said no. They didn't want me to drink just in case they needed to like operate on me, which was a scary thought. They're like, if they need to get in there. And there was any time I went to the bathroom, I remember looking at the door and I'm like, took small sips because I'm like, I'm dying over here. So we came out, Felicia's like, oh, whatever. And then we got to the house. And I remember the dogs greeted me with Dad. I'm like, you're awake? He's like, yeah, we stayed up all night, me and the dogs together. I was like, oh, I remember I wanted to cry. I was like, my entire family stayed up for me. But it was funny because everyone woke up and was like, all right, everyone's going to bed. Good night. Because even Thaddeus was awake. I'm like, you stayed up too? He's like, yeah. He's like, me and Dad stayed up all night. It's like, oh. And then it went from like a loud house as everyone's awake. I was like, all right, good night. Everyone, you just hear like silence as everyone went to bed.
Everybody went night-night. And
then I woke up and I was like, man. So then the next problem was the after effects of when you can't go. Hemorrhoids. Killer. So that was Thursday. I want to say, well, I forget what day it was. Because I could go a little, I think it was Monday. Because I went a little bit over the weekend. And then I had the problem Sunday. I remember Googling it. They're like, oh, it's because of this. So I'm pretty sure it was Monday. I told Boo, I was like, hey, can you go to the store for me?
I need some help.
Because I was going to order on Amazon and I wasn't going to make it in time. She's like, oh, yeah. She's like, I'll wake up John right now. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, you need it. We'll take care of it. I was like, okay. So I spent like almost $70 because she was like, oh, they don't have the special edition. They have this. And that she's like, oh, I found it. I'm like, just get both. And then what else? There was other stuff I asked for too. I was like, damn, that's a lot of money. She's like, it is what it is. I'm like, that's true. But after that, I was good. It hurt at first, but after that stuff, I cleaned myself. Then it was one of those things where I couldn't stop going.
Oh, he had to empty it out.
Then afterwards, I was like, whew. Because it was one of those things too where like when you get stuck like that, like you eating, but you can feel it like getting in your stomach, and it's like, that's not good. Because
he's sitting in there.
That's I felt like after the cookies, I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
Because I had it once when I had one of my medicines where I had the same similar thing, and then I tried to take Miralax to clean it up. I remember throwing up immediately. That was not fun.
Yeah.
So that's my story of what happened. So what's Felicia's thing? Because I seen you guys going with me to the ER, and then that was it. After you guys left, I don't know what happened.
Well, first off, I was like, oh my God, we're going to have to call the ambulance for this guy.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that happened too. I forgot about that. John had his phone, and I said, you're not calling no ambulance. John had his phone.
That's not how Jeremy said it in the moment.
No, that's what I remember.
This is how Jeremy said it.
Oh.
No, you're not. No ambulance.
Oh, I remember saying an ambulance. I guess my thing, but John had his phone like this, ready to call 911. Anyways, yeah, so that happened.
I would say, for me, it's weird because obviously I'm an anxious person.
Me too, which didn't help. That's why I had the panic attack. Which I remember saying that the panic attack is like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't know why. I don't know why I said that, but that's just what came out. I had Felicia, I had no control over my emotions when I was going. I was crying big time. They're like, we need to go. And I remember Felicia's being like very sweet, like rubbing my arm, whatever. She's like, that's why we need to take you to the ER.
Come on, big buddy.
Everyone else is just looking like, what's going on over here? I felt bad. And then I remember I wanted to cry afterwards. I was like, I felt bad I put everyone through that. I remember saying that too. You're like, it's fine.
Get that on these big jobs.
Yeah. So anyway.
My thing for most things like that is I feel like I'm able to just turn myself off.
Which is what happened.
Go into autopilot and do what needs to be done to get it done. And then, deal
with it later.
So trying to get him up. And I can do that. Stay up.
I do that in certain situations if it's flipped. I feel like sometimes, depending on the situation. Other times I'm just like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Other times I'm like, yeah.
Jeremy's kept saying is, "Won't just give me a minute."
Yep.
Just give me a minute. I'm like, Jeremy, it's been an hour.
Yeah.
Sit
I was
up.
like, finally I remember saying it's been an hour. I remember I wanted to lay down. You guys pulled me back up. You're like, no.
Because I already got you up at one point. I had the car.
At least 2 times. I know the car was
I had the car
ready.
right by the sidewalk. I'm like, let's go. You're like, no, it's embarrassing. I'm like, dude.
I remember saying that too.
This happens to people all the time. Let's go.
I remember Boots saying the same thing. She's like, you just got to go, Jeremy. You just got to go. I'm like, I can't go. I need to look to the bathroom. She's like, no, you need to go to the ER.
Thankfully, the roads were dry.
Yeah. Cause I remember on the way home, they said it was like snowing or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I will say, I don't know how fast Felicia was going, the speed limit, I'm sure. But I felt like we got there pretty fast. And I asked John, he said, all I say is I was going this, and I couldn't even keep up with her.
Was he trying to keep up with me?
Yeah, that's what he told me. He said you were gone.
I was driving because I was thinking, like, this dude didn't go to the bathroom. He's probably up to his intestines.
I didn't even think about all that. I just kept thinking
like,
period when his stomach exploded.
Pass out in the car. We just got to get him in, and then he'll be okay. So then I went in and told him what was happening.
Yeah, that's when they got confused. But I remember thinking, too, when I was there, I'm like, I'm glad I went, because when I got there, that's when it got real bad. And then we found out why.
That's why I kept trying to get him up before it got that bad. I'm like, Jeremy, it's just going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
I should have listened, but I did not.
Just give me a minute.
But when everyone got home, too, like, seeing their face change, too, like, because, like, you can imagine someone on the phone saying this is how bad it is, but once you see the person, I saw all their facial expressions change, like, oh, like, this is actually real serious.
Oh, he's a serious boy.
Mom just looked down at me like, oh, no, Jeremy, oh, no.
Oh, no, there he goes.
I think if I wouldn't have went, I for sure probably would have passed out that night, because I felt like I was getting close and I was laying in the ER before they gave me meds.
I was trying to get you there. Jeremy didn't want to go.
Thinking back, when they gave me the meds, like, when I feel they didn't do anything, it probably just, like, made it so I wouldn't pass out or anything. But in the moment when I'm like, this ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably what it was. Anyway, yeah, I keep cutting you off. So, ER. So you left when they're like, it's time for you guys to leave.
Yeah, so we were just waiting. Just texting, and everyone was updating everybody.
I would say around this time, it was probably, what, like 2 a.m. or something?
Probably.
Excuse me, because I remember looking at the group chat after where everyone's like, how's Jeremy doing? Like,
yeah, Jeremy's like, you can go home. I'm like, I'm not going home.
Which thankfully you didn't, because if you would have left at that point when I told you to go home, that's when it'd been real bad. Mm-hmm. Mom and Dad and all them probably would have came home to a passed out kid on the couch.
Jeremy's dead.
I was sitting, Winnie and Remy would have been like, I'm glad you're home, but there's something wrong with Uncle Jeremy.
He's dead.
Oh no, he's dead. Because I remember you decided too, like, I'm just going to sleep over. It's going to be easier. So
yeah, because I was like, I'm going to sleep over. So I already knew, I was like, I'm going to call in. And I called work when he was getting stuff at the Walgreens. And I told him the situation. I didn't say what happened. I just said at the ER and stuff. And I was like, I can't come in. And she's like, can you come in at 1? I was like, no. She's like, can you come in and work? I think it was like, ended up going for like 2 hours. I was like, yeah, fine. So I went in for 2 hours. Oh, this hurt. This might be oh my.
What happened?
Just looking, I got stabbed by a knife in the dishwasher.
Oh, snap.
But it was
I did something to my pinky a while ago and it's been hurting on the side. I got like a hangnail type of thing, but it's like the skin. Oh, wow. 'Tis but to scratch.
So then I got home. Well, not home. I got to Mom and Dad's and I was like, all right, I'm going to booze bed. And I went down there.
Everyone's like, peace out. We're going to bed.
Slept for, I think, till like 12.
I think we will end up all waking up around the same time, I think. Because I think I woke up like
came up and I'm like, all right, well, what are we eating? And then I stayed there for a little bit and I was like, all right, I gotta go let the dogs out.
Yeah, I remember I did not want to eat and everyone's like, you need to eat, you need to eat. So I was like,
Jeremy didn't want to eat or drink.
No. But then I said, okay, fine, give me toast. And it was like the greatest piece of toast I've had in my entire life. I was like, Tanya, I don't know what you did, but that was amazing.
Man, that's great.
She's like, you want, because I had one piece. She's like, you want another one? I was like, give me another one.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother.
So she was like, peace out. Because you're like, oh, I'll see whatever. I might come. You ended up coming back that Saturday, was it?
Probably.
Yeah.
I feel like I was over there.
Or no, you came back that day because you ended up just staying another night. You stayed Friday into Saturday. Didn't you?
Yeah.
That's right,
yeah, because then I came and I still had my bag in the car, like, then Thaddeus and Boo were like, just stay tonight. And I was like, I don't know. And then I was laying on the couch with Winnie and I fell asleep a little bit. And then I woke up and I was like, I guess I could stay. Boo's like, great. We already went and got your backpack. It's already inside.
I think I was taking a nap or some point because I might have went and laid down or something. Because there was a few times where I went and laid down. But I remember, I keep saying that. I can't stop saying it. Seeing you and you're like, yeah, I'm just staying there. Then I was like, okay, I don't know what you guys had for dinner, but I ate something
Taco Bell. No.
Is that when you? Oh, I think that is. Was that when you had I think that was when you had the Taco Bell.
Ooh, I just remember that was really good Taco Bell.
I got have
it's like their burrito
box. Bowl. Oh, nice. They got me a taco and they're like, you need to eat. Yeah, it was that Friday because I'm like, I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to eat it. Like, you need to eat. So they saved it. But it was a few days later. I'm like, okay, because Mom kept saying, you need to eat. I bought you that taco. You didn't eat it. So I said, I'm finally going to eat it. And I went, and I'm like, it's gone. And Tatiana was like, I'm going to find it. And then she got Boo involved, and they're looking. There's no taco. I asked John. He's like, oh, me and Thaddeus ate that about an hour ago. We split it. I'm like, what?
They split it, too.
Like, you weren't going to eat it? I'm like, well, I wanted it. But like, it was okay. We warmed it up. I'm like, oh, damn, I'm going to get Taco Bell. I ended up getting Taco Bell when I went home. And I was like, oh, that was so... No, we got it New Year's Day and we watched Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah.
But after that, my surgery or my recovery's been fine. Just pain here and there. I'm trying to think. So right now, after 2 weeks, I had my appointment. I went with Mom. And the lady was like, okay. Like, she looked at everything. She's like, everything's fine, whatever. I did not shower to that Monday. So yeah, it was that Monday because I showered the day that Boo got me the stuff. Because I could have showered Sunday, but I was afraid, so I showered Monday. And then that Tuesday the week after that was my appointment because it was right before Christmas. I also had I guess we could talk about Christmas. That was a whole thing too. Well, at this point, it's probably going to be 2 episodes anyway, so I guess we'll just let it rip and just split it into 2. Yeah, Christmas was my med stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So at this point, I'm at this is what, the 4th week? Yeah, I'm in the 4th week, I think. No, 5th week, which is crazy to think about. Because it's a week from tomorrow. This is recording on Thursday. A week from tomorrow, I have my 6 weeks appointment. And they'll let me know. So, yeah, 2 weeks. Like, okay, we're still... I'm like, the lady's like, okay. Because it was the assistant or whatever. I'm like, so I'm off of work. She's like, oh, yeah, you can't go to work for another 4 weeks till you see the surgeon. I was like, oh.
What?
I was like, well,
I thought
can
I was
I
going
get a
today.
doctor's note? She's like, oh, yeah, I can do that. I had to call short term because it was right before Christmas, and I sent my papers in, and then a week later, I called. I'm like, hey, no, 2 weeks. I'm like, I submitted my stuff 2 weeks, and there's no update. She's like, well, did you upload online? I'm like, yeah, over 2 weeks ago. Oh, well, let me look into it. She's looking in 23rd. She's like, oh, okay. I'm thinking, 2 weeks I've been waiting because I was supposed to go to work that Monday. This is a Friday. I'm thinking, what the heck, man? So 23rd, right at the moment, I cannot lift more than 10 pounds. I cannot bend or twist. I have to wear this thing anytime I'm walking around. I don't have to when I'm sitting, but like they said, if you can, you want, because some people find it comfortable. I do because it gives me more support. The worst thing is I can't play any instruments. I can't play guitar, can't play drums. I asked them afterwards, like, oh, maybe we can have a band practice, because at the same time, Thaddeus had surgery on his hand, which I'll look for a picture of that. He gave me permission to put in my video, so that means I can put it in this too.
It's permission. Well,
because that was that's another thing that was going on. Thaddeus had surgery on his hand.
Yes, sir.
So he no longer has that knuckle, which actually we talked about the last podcast.
Going through it.
He ended up having some problems with his back afterwards, so him and I were laying in bed next to each other. We joked about it beforehand, but it actually was like we both were pretty much in pain, could not move. We went to my house a couple times when I was staying at my parents'. I stayed there for 3 weeks. Towards the end of it, I felt more nervous about going home because at their house there would always be someone to feed me, make sure I had stuff, whatever. But I was like, I'm on my own. I mean, Doug and Karina are here, but at the same time, because I'm like, I want to be independent, do stuff myself. It's kind of like that's kind of scary, but everything being okay. So yeah, I was gonna say, so 10-pound weight limit and all that, and then yeah, so we had more stuff about Christmas, which we'll talk to in the next episode.
Yes.
So. Real quick, just want to say again, thank you to Mike Cover.
Thank you, Mike Cover. Check him out.
Magic Candle Company. What else?
W Energy.
Oh, W Energy. Thank you. I always forget about that one. And our P.O. Box, which I just remember that's going to be renewing soon. So make sure you send us something in our P.O. Box. Yeah. And yeah, we have something else that we can tease, but we'll tease it in the next episode.
We'll tease next time.
Yeah.
So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. We are we don't forget. I'm Felicia.
And I'm Jeremy.
Toodles.
Toodles.